Welcome to the western suburbs. Weighs 1850.
Really?
So, yeah,
Okay.
it's not
I
light,
had a look
right?
at it. You've obviously got a full interior.
We took out a 4-cylinder, put a V8. We took out a 8 HP, put a turbo 400, and took out an IRS and put a 9-inch. We definitely added weight to the car.
So a few years ago, we featured your Ford XR6 Turbo with an LS in it. And some people lost their minds, but the car was actually very, very neat, very cool car. Now you're back again with another Frankenstein build, but there is a bit of a method to your madness.
Read the back of my top.
Let's just chuck an LS in it. LS the world.
It solves every problem, to be honest.
So give us a rundown on this. You said earlier this was your daily driver.
It was my daily driver till it come up with a bottom end knock. To replace the motor, it was just something hideous. It was like 7 or 10 grand by the time to do it.
How many Ks were on the car at that point?
130,000 Ks.
Yeah.
Nothing. I just drove it till it locked up.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, I swear. It locked up on a Friday night. Saturday morning, motor and box were out.
Oh,
By Sunday, the motor was seated.
Yeah, okay.
So I'm like,
Oh, sorry, you had made your decision.
Yeah, because I heard the knock, and probably two weeks before it actually locked up on me. So I already, worked out the outcome. What am I going to do? Like, it's another stupid LS project. Here we go again.
Did you ever consider another BMW engine? That's not your forte. You like LSs?
They're not really affordable,
yeah,
to be honest. And to muck around with them, I don't know much people that can actually help me out with the build.
Yeah.
So I'm familiar with the whole LS industry. Got built from garage works, can dump a tune and anything. I'm like, it's a no-brainer.
It fits in there really well. Like it's like sitting a long way back.
Yeah. Look, I really wanted it to look like it was at home.
Yeah.
And that's why I started in there the way it is. Everything's all plastic and rubber hosed. Just looks factory.
Looks very OE. Yeah, I like that. When I first saw it, you contacted me, and I remember this was naturally aspirated.
It was NA 6 litre. I put a 6 litre head and camera with a turbo 400, standard IRS. We ran it. Heathcote would have run like 1190 at 118, which is not bad for a very heavy car, me in it. And then I saw you that day on the track, and I'm like, I'm going to charge this thing.
Yeah.
I want to get into the 9s.
Didn't it break the rear end?
We had a private test day.
Oh, yeah.
On initial launch, done a burnout, rolled back, broke the axle, day over.
Broke the axles out. That was supercharged then?
That was already supercharged. And that's when I went and got the 9-inch done.
Oh, that's right. So that day at the track, I said, what happened? You said, I broke a shaft. You said, look, that's it. I'll take the engine out. I'll retire the car and I'll build. You said you wanted to build a Commodore or something. I said, fair enough, I get it. And then I think it was 2 days later, you said, it's going to next gen.
The whole arse end was out down at Daniel's. He fabbed up something awesome, to be honest.
Yeah. You just had it at Heathcote recently, and straight up, she was in the 9s.
Hooked up, 138 60 foot. How can you complain?
So getting back to the engine, how have you... sorry, this engine is not the engine that was naturally aspirated, yeah?
No, so that 6 litre I sold, put towards a crate motor. So LSA crate motor, bit of headwork, cam, head studs, valve springs, and a good tune.
Yeah, so that's what you need to do to these, isn't it?
Plenty.
And they're reliable as.
Yeah, besides, supercharger pulleys and, all that stuff to make boost, bang for buck for what you get, can't go wrong.
So is this running a GM
ECU, LS3 ECU, E38 I think they call them.
Yep.
I've even retained the BMW ECU to get the start-stop to work and all like that. Just trying to retain as much factory as possible. A lot of it doesn't work because it's all CAN bus.
Yeah.
Transmission fault, brake system.
Hey dude, I can tell you've got a fuel system in this. Are these all the filters coming up?
Everything, yeah. I can actually put like a BM code thing and just delete everything. But the good thing is the navigator still works, the music still works.
A great way you can support fullBOOST is to purchase some of our merch.
We've got many different styles on offer, so what are you waiting for? Grab one today at shop.fullboost.com.au.
It's probably the cheapest way you can get the engine running, isn't it?
Correct. For ECU with $300-400, you know. Mind you, I've got full Haltech for this thing, but I don't think I'll be putting it in, to be honest. It's just overkill.
Depends on what your end goals are.
Yeah, like it ran 9s, it's a daily driver, take the wheels off, put the M4 wheels on it, no one will even know what's in it, you know. Street duties, no worries.
I like your little touch with the BMW
the engine cover.
piece on the engine cover.
I had to be, you know, I wouldn't say different. I think people have done it before, but just to put a little spice to it, you know.
There's a lot of cars I've seen doing conversions, you know, they have bonnet clearance issues, but in this, it's...
I promise to God, I thought I had to cut out the bonnet. I set the motor in, I'm like, yeah, that's not going to clear, no way. I'm going to slam the bonnet. If it closes, we're laughing.
So what mounts have you got?
I've made my own mounts at the top, and it still runs factory BMW mounts on the subframe. Rear pickup sump. The trans mount is still a factory trans mount. It's just modified and strengthened. It's just all alloy. I just had to relocate the bolt holes, which wasn't too hard to do. Anyway.
So what gearbox is it?
Turbo 400 trans brake. Jenkins built this one. It's got the 9-inch, one-piece tail shaft. It's got wheel woods in the rear just to clear the 15-inch brakes. But believe it or not, they're the factory brakes at the front. They're just slotted rotors. Factory 2-pots. I'll stop, no worries.
So what model is this?
So it's a 2014 F32 428i.
Oh, 428i.
So started its life as a four-cylinder M20 engine, 8 HP, 8-speed box, which is no longer there. I would love to adapt that, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, look at something you could do in the future.
I can do in the future if I really want to. Get a Max ECU fitted rather than a Haltech, because Max ECU has a CAN bus input, so you can get everything to work in this car, really. I didn't even know it was an option. If I knew it was, I would have done it from the beginning.
Are you going to keep this for a little while?
You know me, everything's for sale for the right price.
Everything's for sale, and everything needs an LS in it, though.
So I pretty much think that we'll fix the car rather than have to change another four-cylinder engine and possibly break again.
These late model cars, though, they all have big guards.
Massive hubs.
Like you can get big tyres.
It's like an FG in the back. You've seen how FGs are really big in the back. I didn't want to go like full 3-inch backspace, massive dish. It wasn't what I was chasing.
Going back to the performance side of it, you've obviously had this on the dyno.
Yeah, so Bill from Garage Works always does all my cars. Thank you, Bill, for Ripper Tune. You know, like always, always fits me in at night or after hours.
What's this roughly make?
475 kilowatts with a 4.5 stall. How can I go wrong with, standard motor?
Yeah.
And it's only making 12 PSI. It's not even much.
That's sort of, this is where these are great. Yeah, at that point.
Like you just tramp it, car goes.
Instantly.
Hooks up on the street.
I can see why you wanted to keep rubber mounts in it though. That just drives so much nicer. What sort of cam have you got in it?
To be honest, I'll be lying to you if I knew what it was. Eugene from Flowcraft.
Yep.
He hooked me up with all this stuff.
That's why you get a blower, yeah?
Yeah.
Just instant throttle response.
That's it.
What exhaust you got on here?
It's got, believe it or not, VY Club Sport headers.
Okay.
Modified. Yeah. And I've got them going from 2.5 to twin 3-inch. Got 2 resonators and just a single 4-inch afterwards, after it cross pipes.
So what diff gears have you got in it?
For 3.7s.
Okay, so does it have a little bit of RPM on the freeway? You got
around
a tall
3,000.
Yeah, you got a tall tire.
Yeah, it's an X275, man.
Apart, it is a little bit loud, but it's smooth, man. A lot of people who have never been in a car that's had a rear end put in it think it won't drive well. It's the opposite.
That's right. Plenty of power for the street,
Plenty, yeah. It just hooks and goes. Super smooth, man.
No vibration on the wheel, no pulsation.
When you have a modern car that's got all the performance bits
just
on it, I
works
guess.
well.
It's hard to go back to an old car, isn't it?
I don't know, I just like the factory look, man. Everything just works good.
Yeah.
Besides,
Beautiful dashboard.
yeah. Besides all the bloody, all the lights shining. And
Hey, you know what that is?
it's not a BMW if you don't have all this shit working.
I was going to say that's like factory BMW or Volkswagen.
The good thing is it doesn't leak oil, so.
fullBOOST Garage is a DIY workshop, meaning you can hire a hoist bay and tools and work on your car at your own pace. So far, we've had a range of people come in doing anything from oil changes, exhaust upgrades, and other repairs to their car. If you need something done to your car and don't have any space or don't have the right tools, get on the website and book in now.
I think personally, on a V8, the PD blower is where it's at.
Can't go wrong, you know? It's not laggy, it's responsive. This is a spontaneous guy type of car, yeah? You want it now, you got it.
Look, a lot of guys going about turbos in a V8, but realistically on the road, you can't use it a lot of the time.
By the time you come on boost, it's just time to stop already, yeah?
And you
Not
go-
hanging on turbo, boys. Turbos are great. I've had turbos myself. A lot of tough turbo cars as well. But yeah, for the street, I reckon it's perfect. More than enough power. There's one thing I need to do, hit up Mo from Tyre Works for a set of coilovers on the front. Probably stop the front end from lifting as much. Oh, you've probably seen how high it is.
It does separate.
It was separating probably 4 or 5 inches on the front. I know the rear's made to separate, but it would have been more ideal if the front wasn't. Maybe with a bigger blower, we can go straight to the 8s. But for now, for a 1900, you know, what more can you ask for, you know? And it's a heavy car. It weighs 1850.
Really?
So, yeah, it's not
I
light,
had a look at it. You've obviously got a full interior.
We took out a 4-cylinder, put a V8. We took out a 8 HP, put a turbo 400, and took out an IRS and put a 9-inch 100-litre fuel cell. You know, I was racing half empty, so that's still 50 litres there.
If you've got a nice shaped car, all you have to do is, most cars, just lower them a bit and change the wheels, and
Correct.
they look great. Well done, dude.
Thank you.
I had to get you a sticker, mate.
lstheworld. The window's already clean for the people who say clean the window before you apply a sticker.
Beautiful. Now these are available in our shop, shop.fullboost.com.au.
It's a 2014 F-Series 32.
I'll ask you a few questions about it because
Yeah.
I'm not overly familiar with this era of BMWs. Actually,